Hello, New Jamonville camp counselors and just staff. Welcome to the King Swing. This is the King Swing. When the camp or youth group, whatever it is, first arrives at the King Swing, there's a few things you have to go over before they get started to make sure they're safe. So you usually want to start with like a brief description of what the King Swing is. Like, you get hooked in here, your friends pull you up, you pull the cord, and you go swinging. Just so they have a basic idea of what's going to happen if they have no idea what it is. Then you go into some rules. The biggest rule you have to make sure you go over is to not walk under the triangle formed by the rope over here, because things might fall from there, including people, and it would hurt if they kicked you in the face. You also want to impress upon them the need for safety and quiet at all times. Quiet is very important because I will be given directions, the hall team leaders will be given directions, the person on the rope will be given directions, and they all need to be heard. So impressing upon them that quiet is of vital importance is very important. Third thing is you have to make sure they treat the rope with great care. Ropes can get damaged very easily by being stepped on and just being treated in a manner they shouldn't be. So, generally, you tell them if they step on the rope, they have to kiss it. You can also add other punishments. I like to make them make cookies. You can make them sing. You can make them dance. It's really all within what you want to do and how worried you are they're actually going to mess with the rope. So, first thing we're going to do. The order on this doesn't particularly matter, this is just the order I like to do, so that's how I'm going to do it. First things first. Take the staples, conveniently located in the adventure box over there, and begin placing them onto the pole like so. This serves a couple of purposes. First of all, this right here is an ascender. This, if you're climbing this pole for a rescue or some other reason, this will go with you and keep you from falling. Very handy, very useful, key to any rescue you want to do here at Jamonville. I will now put it on. So you just come up here, you see this cable right here, you get a friend to help support you. If you don't have a friend that can with you or a friend that can't hold you, make sure to bring a ladder. A ladder is very useful if you're using it later. You can use it to do most of this stuff as well. It tends to be a tiny bit easier than just using the staples. Voila, now you can hook this onto a harness right here. It will go up very easily. It will not go down unless you lift it up like that. Very safe, very easy to use. Now, on to the next one. The other reason to put the staples up is to get the paracord that is up here. Give the tree a nice hug, and unwrap the paracord. Make sure it doesn't cause anything, because that's annoying, and you will have to rescue it. Then just kind of hook it around something, and come back to it later. Voila. Now, I do this next. You take this metal strand of cable with some things attached to it, take the end without a pulley, and you attach it to this hook on the side of the pole. This pulley will make it easier for the rope we'll put here later to be pulled. that is its only function. Make sure it is there. These are the king swing ropes. They are how you will pull your campers up and how they will be pulled up. They are very important. Do not forget them. So, you take the thinner rope and you find the end with the hook on it. You take that end, you untie the paracord you prepared earlier. So you take this and you tie it to the outside rope, the outside piece of paracord. So you make sure there's no crossings or anything like that, and you take this rope on this side, right here, this one where the rope is. You tie any knot, really any knot, as long as it's not too bulky or big. I go for double fisherman's. You can do whatever you want as long as it's going to go through a pulley still. Does not particularly matter. Once it is tied, you grab the other end of the paracord and you begin to pull. And you pull. And you pull for a good long while until there is rope in your hands again. Once you have rope in your hands, you untie the paracord from the rope. Before you forget, take your paracord somewhere out of the way and lay it out so it doesn't get tangled or get stepped on or get torn by something. I usually put it back over here where no one should be going. Then take the end of the rope that you had tied to the paracord and run it through the pulley. Give it a few yanks. Take it about to the dirt patch. That should still be here in a couple years. That's about where you want to be. You grab a carabiner of any size or description. It does not matter as long as it is weight bearing. You tie a figure 9. Figure 9s, the knot of champions. Very similar to figure 8s, do most of the same thing. They just don't tighten up as much, so they're very easy to get out, and they look much less pretty. So you take it, like so, go around once, and with a figure 8, you put it through here, go around again, pull through, your figure 9. You take the carabiner, hook it on, and then you'll have a whole team leader who is attached to this at the very end. This is the king swing ladder. It can be your best friend or worst enemy. So, the way it works is you... There we go. You smash the things on the inside out so you can close and or open it depending on what you're doing. They can stick a little bit if you just... Judicious amounts of force usually work to make it work. In order to lengthen it to its full length, you pull out these things on the side and you pull up. You're going to take it to the largest setting possible. It is the easiest way to do the king swing. You put the the poles back into the holes, and this side is locked. You then do the next side. You center it over the rapid links facing this direction, and you're ready to go. This is probably the most important part. Make sure you attach this big hunk of rope with 2 ropes hanging off it to the carabiner up there, to the rapid link up there. So climb up the ladder and attach. Make sure to flip the carabiner and to screw down. Just make sure it's screwed down so you don't screw up, because that would be bad. Then, to be ready for the first camper, take this hunk of rope that connects the haul rope and the hold rope and attach it to your halyard snap. Like so. Hang it right here, and you're ready for your first camper.
So this is how you put on this black harness. The sizes are right here. This is a medium to large one. So what you do is you tell the kids that they're going to step into this like a pair of pants, which you kind of do that with the harness too. You make sure they go through the shoulders and then through these two leg loops. One's for the waist and then one's for the leg. Then you throw it over the shoulders. Then you put the waist on and you can tighten it for them. And then you do the leg ones too. And lastly, these ones up here, and you can have multiple people check it for you too.
Okay, with these harnesses, make sure it is always double looped back through. If it's like this, that's not going like, if it's like this, that is no way it's just going to come like through like that. So make sure that you double loop it through here. Make sure it lays flat, like so, and pull down. Alrighty, so Miss Sarah here's going to demonstrate putting on our butterfly harnesses that we use for smaller campers, generally under 100 pounds. So, first you put on the red harnesses like you would any other harness. Hopefully you know that by now. So you bring it up to the belly button. You have the camper hold it up, just hold it up to the belly button, and then you tighten it for them. You may hurt them a little bit. Safety is not always comfortable. Do not forget the butt strap. People forget it a lot. It is vitally important that you do not forget it. Now is the butterfly. It's the butterfly. It serves as like the kind of the top strap on the regular harnesses. So you kind of just put it on like kind of like a small sweater kind of thing. Comes across like that. You will ask your campers, hold them together like that, and then you will tighten them. Make sure it is even in the back, like so, and that's about it. Also, when you're hooking the butterflies in, make sure, do not put it in between these loops here. Make sure to put it around both. Otherwise, you will kind of choke the campers, so make sure to put it around both the purple and the gray. So, when you have campers on the ladder, make sure to get small like small talk, like, hey, what's your name?
Miss Sydney,
How are you feeling?
I'm so scared.
How do you feel about the weather today?
It's beautiful outside.
What's your favorite thing at camp to make them feel more at ease while they're up there with you? While you're talking to them, make sure you hook them in. That is very important. You put the bigger hunk of rope on the bottom loop of the harness. If they're using a red harness with purple butterflies, it goes into the actual harness. The top one goes into the top. The one with the very small, more paracordy-like rope. Screw down so you don't screw up. And then make sure you attach them to the haul rope and screw down so you don't screw up. Then you tell them the safety things they need to know. Biggest thing you tell them, do not touch this white rope right there. It is going to stay up there. You are going to go that way. It would end in a dislocated arm or something similar. It's something we would very much like to avoid here at Jamonville. So do not let them touch that rope. Second thing you do is you talk to them about the halyard snap. You tell them that this is the halyard snap is this red thing right here, and you pull the cord hard down to your hip in order to release yourself. So you can, if they look scared or worried, or they're just really young in general, have them practice. So, Miss Sydney, would you like to practice? And that will be it. Then you make sure you re-clip it. Then tell them, make sure you don't touch that red cord until you reach the top of your ascent, just so you don't come down early and kick me in the face. Okay? Then you would tell them to count down before they pull the cord. So like a nice 3, 2, 1, then pull, and then then, depending on their age, they all go to different heights, which can be found in your progression charts, which will be provided by Mr. Jim. However, so depending on their age, you can tell them how high they'll be going, and you'll tell them if they want to stop at any point, they can just yell stop, and the hall team will stop them there. Then you will ask any questions. If they say no, you ask what their commands are. If they do not know their commands, you will go over the commands with them again. If they are very young, you may have to whisper commands to them because the chances of them remembering it are very low. After they are ready to go, you will ask them to lean back. You will pull the ladder away, and they will hang. Like so. They are now ready to fly. The facilitator will grab this rope and keep it taut the entire time they are in the air. That is to prevent the rope that is attached, then once it becomes unattached, from swinging and getting caught on things as much as possible, because if it gets caught on things, you may have to rescue it, and that is not a good time. Okay, so on the haul line, you make sure they are zippered up. That means it is Miss Katie's hand, Mr. Riley's hand, Miss Katie's hand, and then Mr. Riley's hand. So it's just, this prevents slipping. Also, thumbs must always be pointed toward the pole. This just prevents slipping. So if one person falls, it does not result in the entire hall team falling, and there just being a giant Jenga tower of sadness and despair. Now, on the hall, there's a couple commands that we will go over with the hall team before we get started. So, the person that is hanging, Miss Sydney, will say, hall team ready. The hall team will say, hall team is ready. Miss Sydney will say, permission to fly. They will say, permission to fly is granted. Flying, fly away. So if you want, we're going to see a nice demonstration of that by our lovely staff.
All team ready!
All team is ready.
Permission to fly!
Permission to fly is granted.
Flying!
Fly away.
Miss Sydney, do you have any hip, knee, or ankle injuries?
No!
Awesome. I am going to start slowing you down, and I will stop you.
Okay.
You're going to stop. Someone will bring the ladder over, and then you will place the child upon the ladder. Or the person, in this case. Then engage in more small talk, like, how was your flight?
It was so great.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah,
Would you do it again?
of course.
And then you unhook them.